back talking about ADHD. And you know what? To be perfectly honest, I haven't been diagnosed formally with ADHD. But I'll tell you why, because I told my doctor I wanted to have the tests done or whatever that would say I have ADHD or not. And his response was, "Oh, well, I'll just put you on the medication." No, that's not what I'm going to do. Because even if I were officially diagnosed with ADHD, I knew I wanted to at least attempt um, some behavioral changes before going into exploring medicated routes. But so all to say, that's still not an official diagnosis, but I do kind of just tell everyone, like, haha, I have ADHD. And I probably do. so, but I did want to talk about something that I've been working on just in terms of goal setting. Because even if you and I don't have ADHD, if this is like how your brain works, where you get very distracted and very overwhelmed by a lot of ideas and not really the best at making progress on those goals, I just wanted to share kind of like things that I've learned, things that I'm working on right now. Which brings me to this weird big wall behind me. Um, I've called it unfinished business. And I started making a series over on Instagram. If you want to check that out, it's just my name, Caitlin Moose, same thing. And I have just been making a little series to kind of document progress there. The way I came up with this wall and each kind of task, some of them are very small, basic tasks like fix the screws from your chair. And other ones are massive tasks, like I have a couple of feature film script ideas up here and just completing short films. So some of them are behemoth tasks. And I've kind of been toying with how to break these down into smaller, digestible to dos. One of the things that I've been working on is, if you've heard of the organizational program called Notion, I'm obsessed with it. I love using Notion to kind of organize my thoughts. It's a really nice layout for, in terms of a website to have, and you can kind of build it however you want. There is a learning curve because of that. It definitely took me some getting used to. I know some people like Obsidian. That one felt a little more logic minimalist to me, which normally I would be all for, but I kind of like the Pinteresty aesthetic vibes of Notion. So if you're into that, I would suggest, what I did is I just went and looked up a bunch of tutorials on YouTube on how to set up Notion, because you can do like different databases and things like that. So I have things for ideas for content creation and different kinds of workflows. But the thing I'm most proud of right now is essentially like what you're seeing behind me. This is the messy, ugly version. I have a digital program where it's just like my projects. And I think, bringing it back to ADHD, viewing to-do lists as projects in your life kind of gamifies it in a way. And so for each of these projects now in my digital Notion board, I can go through and make specific, smaller little to-dos. And then I've set it up in a way that I can literally, when I check it off, it'll show kind of like a progress bar until I hit 100%. And here's the big thing, you guys. Each of these, not each of these, but each of the ones on the Notion board is associated with a reward. And we're talking like, we've got some big rewards happening here. There was one, when I very first started the project board, I said, okay, I need to get back into shape. I just want to go do 8 workouts at the gym, 8 good, solid lifting weights workouts. It doesn't matter what it is, but 8 of them. And then I will reward myself with a massage. And guess what? Even with a massive reward like that, it still took me, I think, 2 months to hit 8 workouts. Like, yeah, it was that pathetic. I think it was over 2 months for me to hit that. It was also like during the Christmas holiday season, but still. Now for February, I have like 6 gym workouts, 6 long walks, and 6 at-home workouts. So trying to really up the amount, but still for another massage, because I really liked that as a reward idea. because that was kind of something that I wanted to be doing anyways, but don't allow myself to do because of the price tag. And that's something that I want to say too. If that reward sounds way too big for you, do a smaller thing like, oh, I get to go out and have my coffee, or oh, I get to see a friend and sit down with them. I think you don't even have to do something that costs money to make it a reward, but I have seen, just since I've started this project board, with kind of bigger rewards like that, because it's things that I wanted to like buy myself anyways, like um like a hair wand, and what else have I done? um I don't know, like kitchen appliances, things like that are kind of like bigger, but were on my list already of things. And so it's just kind of, again, gamifying it so that you can actually want to work towards that goal and see results. Now, why did I put it all on my wall? This, I think, is another thing with ADHD. Kind of, I keep hearing ADHD people in particular, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So something about having all of that living digitally is really easy to ignore or not see like the scope of it, because I do struggle with like, I guess kind of almost like underestimating the workload in front of me. Even if I make it a to-do list, I'm like, well, yeah, why can't I do these 20 things on my to-do list in one day? That seems reasonable. But to see it all out like this, where it's a lot. One, I guess, I don't know, it kind of helps me get used to the idea more that like we've bitten off more than we can chew. We can't do this in one day. You have to like focus on which one are we going to focus on. But also, it's really annoying to look at. Like, it's really ugly. And I just want it off my wall, actually. So honestly, that's kind of helping because I see it every day. I get to take it off once I've done it. Some of these, like I was saying before, are probably too big of goals to have put up there, because it's going to take months, if not years, to clear some of these. So I don't know how long this will stay up. I just put it up about a month ago. And I've made some nice progress towards things. But yeah, we'll see. Cause like, ew, I can't just have this living on my living room wall. I don't want to like have people over and see that. But no, it is good. And I think that in and of itself is kind of motivating for it to like get away. But just the fact that also, instead of like clicking off of a to-do list, I can literally take the index card off the wall, because they're just all taped up there. I can like take it off when it's done, and then I'll have empty spaces. Something about that feels really good too, instead of like adding check marks. Another thing I would say with ADHD is timers. Timers. If I just feel like I can't even start a task, I can set a phone timer for 5 minutes. Just be like, okay, you don't have to work more than that. 15 minutes, like whatever it is. Timers really help if, one, you're having trouble getting started, but two, also to do kind of like a mad dash sprint. Like if you've ever been able to clean your entire apartment because a friend was coming over, you know what I'm talking about with the mad dash sprint. So I kind of like to almost pretend that's happening when I'm like, okay, I'm going to clean everything that I can clean, but I only get 20 minutes, so you better hurry. And kind of using my timers like that as well. But I will say overall, I am trying to learn a more, or like a less stressful approach to all of this, because a lot of times people with ADHD are only accomplishing things like that with a cortisol spike. And as we know, having a bunch of cortisol spikes all the time and feeling like you're being chased by a lion is not great for you. So I'm trying to figure out, the whole how to be productive while also being calm about it, living a normal life. So if anyone has cracked the code on that, please let me know. I definitely love some more ADHD hacks, or just kind of like organizing. The last thing I'll say is, I think for a lot of people, at least like me, you don't need to do more research. You don't need to do more organization. You don't need to do more things that get in the way of doing the thing you're supposed to be doing. And that for me is much more of a mental hurdle than, you know, figuring out execution wise. It's just, okay, you're allowed to take messy action towards something. It will feel a lot better, and you won't feel like getting yourself into just a procrastination loop if you take imperfect action. I really like, I think it was from Marie Forleo. She says, action cures fear. And I think a lot of the pain that I have from ADHD or anxiety, whatever it is just that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I should be doing X, Y, and Z. I should be doing this. Why am I not doing this? I'm scared to do this. And all of these kinds of, like I said, weird mental hurdles and self-doubts. So you always just take a deep breath. Action cures fear. And if you're having trouble taking that first action, especially if you're like stuck scrolling on your phone or something, I find it really helpful to move your eyes around. I think I've seen from Dr. Andrew Huberman that this does something with your neural networks, that you can kind of get out of that, because at the very least, you're not looking at your phone anymore. And then once I do that, kind of like move your hands a little bit, like give yourself some micro movements to move you to the next spot. Because I know it can be really hard to just go from like sitting and scrolling on your phone to up and being productive with a task. But I hope some of this helps. Like I said, if you'd like to see these things start getting accomplished, please come over to Instagram, and I'm kind of making a series there, which is another topic I want to talk about with vertical series and how popular they're getting. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear if you yourself have any ADHD productivity hacks, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.